Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are, together again on the radio. A number of you sent me this story, and I want to talk about it right here. Here it is. Dateline, New York. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has filed a sexual harassment lawsuit in federal court against the Fox News Channel. The lawsuit contends that Fox retaliated against Kim Weiler, a former employee, for complaining about discrimination, and that as a result of the discrimination, Weiler and others at Fox were, quote, constructively discharged by the network. The suit does not state how many people were discharged. The complaint contends that Joe Chalemi, a Fox vice president who supervised its advertising and promotions departments, sexually harassed and subjected Weiler and other women to a hostile work environment. There's that hostile work environment again. Routinely using obscenities and vulgarities to describe women or their body parts. Spokesman at News Corporation, the parent company, the Fox News Channel, and a spokeswoman at Fox News didn't immediately return phone calls seeking comment. The complaint also says Chalemi also made a number of derogatory comments about pregnant women. This one sounds like Mr. Chalemi has been a listener at one time or another. Here's his comment. What are the derogatory comments about pregnant women? It says here, at a department discussion about a segment on sexism in the workplace, Chalemi said that in choosing who to hire, quote, if it came down between a man or a woman, of course I'd pick the man. The woman would most likely get pregnant and leave, according to the complaint. Now, you see, I also happen to believe, I don't know about most likely, but I certainly think it is within the realm of possibility when you consider the age of women who work in newsrooms. They start as college interns, and they work in their 20s and maybe into their early 30s, and then when you do indeed at least get married and leave, or get married and have long honeymoons, or take sabbaticals if they can, and yes, many of them get pregnant. The problem with Mr. Chalemi is that, my opinion, he's a dope, because although I believe what he said and agree with what he said, you can't be saying that at staff meetings, because there'll always be some litigious sort that's going to write that down. So you have to use the old Tom Leykis method of interviewing, which goes like this. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming in and giving us your resume. You certainly seem like a wonderful candidate for the job. We've got plenty of wonderful candidates. We'll let you know, dear. I mean, ma'am. And then you hire Bob or Bill or Steve for the job, who will not get pregnant, and he will be there when needed. But you don't tell people that you're doing that. This is the stupidity among people who choose to engage in illegal discrimination. There are some people who are brilliant at it. And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with discriminating against women because of the possibility that they will get pregnant or take more time off than the guys. You just can't tell people you're doing it. It just has to kind of be a coincidence. Like, coincidentally, we have an all-male staff here. These just happen to be the three most qualified people who came in the door. That's right. And that's what the guy at Fox News Channel should have said. Sure, we got mostly men here. But we looked at the qualities of all the applicants, and we chose the best people for the job. And we will continue to do so here at Fox News Channel. That's what he should have said. Dope. could have done exactly what you wanted, you idiot. You shouldn't be announcing it in staff meetings, you moron. The lawsuit also claims a supervisor in the advertising and promotions departments, which Chalemi oversees, referred to women in those departments in a derogatory way as his promo girls. Dean, remember we had a woman I used to refer to as promo girl? She was a girl in every sense of the word. But we didn't tell her name was promo girl. It's just between us guys. But again, that's New York City. It's those hardened bitches. It's 27, 28-year-olds. The kind who flirt with Bill O'Reilly and then sue him, you know the kind I'm talking about? That kind? Yeah. New York is full of chicks like that. On the one hand, they want you to be hot for them. On the other hand, you should respect them. Outrageous. Says here the complaint alleges Fox discriminated against Weiler and other female employees in terms, conditions, and privileges of employment, including assigning women primarily to freelance positions with less benefits. Well, sure, they should have more freelance positions because they need more flex time. Many of them need more time off. They need freedom to be with their kids. Why shouldn't they be in freelance positions primarily? But again, you don't want to be announcing that or sending out memos to that effect. I don't know if he did in that case. Finally, the lawsuit contends that Fox retaliated against Weiler for complaining about discrimination but didn't indicate what actions were taken. Okay. Now, again, this guy was a dope. But he was a dope just for saying what he thought. This is how guys think. And honestly, this is what we believe about women. And personally, I do believe more offices should run this way. But I think that especially in a city full of angry, bitter broads like New York City, you clearly have to know that litigation is a possibility with these bitches. You have to act accordingly. What do you think?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom is a talk master, so you can't get on this radio and say certain things to him because he's going to eat you alive.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Curtis on the Tom Leykis Show. Did we lose Curtis? All right. Tony on the Tom Leykis Show. Is Tony there? Tony. All right. Let's try Gina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Gina.
Hey, you don't sound very good. Are you kind of sick?
I'm kind of sick, yes.
I'm sorry.
But I showed up to work.
Oh, good for you.
Despite feeling sick.
Oh, what's the matter? You got a cold?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I only play one on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just wanted to call in and say that I totally agree with you in every sense of the word, especially on this topic. I just think that it's just silly, and in this, litigious society that we're in, that these women do this. And the whole thing about being a promo girl, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't think that sounds bad. What's wrong with saying
such
that?
a hostile work environment.
Yeah.
Now, if he called them promo bitches or promo whores, all right, maybe it's a little different. But promo girls?
Yeah, I don't even see what's in
that gives you an idea of what kind of bitches are in New York and Boston and Philly.
I've never been, so I guess I'm not.
That whole East Coast attitude that just makes me sick.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I'm not a very controversial caller, but I agree with you.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, thanks. Feel better.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. JJ on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, JJ.
How are you doing, sir?
Do you care?
Absolutely, Dad.
I'm sick. Sick. It's not your problem. It's my problem. Yes.
That I walked in on these 40-something cackling whores at a job I used to work at.
Uh-huh.
And they were calling me pool boy.
Really?
Yeah, and I go, exactly, what does that mean? Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them smiles at me. And, you know, like, she's like 45. I got 3 kids. Now, I'm a decent-looking guy, but, you know, can you imagine if the roles were reversed, what would happen?
Yeah, but, JJ, part of the problem is that guys like you don't go down to the Human Resources Department and threaten to file lawsuits like broads do.
Absolutely.
You should have done that.
I should have.
And every guy out there should be doing that.
I should have.
Because that is why men are never taken seriously, because so few of us file claims about that stuff.
I know. We take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
And not a put down.
That is why the rules are so favoring women. It's because men don't file enough complaints.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. I mean, and you're so right. You know, most of us do think that way. You know, but
That's
we
right.
can't say that. We just can't.
Well, the trick is just to act that way without actually telling people.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. How many times have you gone to a job interview and they said, okay, we'll let you know, and you just knew you were not getting the job?
Oh, and you never get a call.
And you never knew why?
Nope.
And there could be a number of reasons. Maybe you look too much like a pool boy.
You know, they can say anything they want, Tom.
That's right.
Can't.
Don't be stupid and be telling people that you're engaging in what could be construed as illegal discrimination.
How old is this guy?
It does not say in the story.
He's got to know better than that. I mean,
you would think. Yeah, you would think.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Will you blow me up, Tom?
Of course I will. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. You're quite a moron, aren't you?
Oh, give me an example.
Well, you're telling people to break the law, basically.
No, I'm telling people to act within the letter of the
law.
law.
How many people do that with black people or with Puerto Ricans or with Mexicans?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, and you think they should go ahead and do it?
No, actually, I don't in that case.
Which discrimination to follow,
Oh,
right?
I certainly do. Most of us do, actually.
Yeah, you do. So
most of us do.
It's just great to break the law.
Most of us do. Well, again, I think some of these laws don't make any sense. It is true that women get pregnant
and black people
and leave jobs. No, actually, that's not always true.
Mexicans shouldn't get jobs either.
That is not generally true, actually. In fact,
you get to pick and choose which law you get to discriminate.
Most people do.
Don't follow the law, then. Don't follow any law.
Actually, many people don't.
So that's what you're really saying to people. Don't follow the law.
I'm saying to people that if you're going to engage in this kind of behavior, don't be telling people about it.
So go ahead and do it against whoever group that you think is okay.
I think what the guy said is true.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Do you think it's true?
Many people think black people shouldn't get jobs.
Do you think what this guy said is true?
That has nothing to do with my point.
Think, yes or no?
No, I don't.
All right. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Curtis on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad. How you doing?
All right, son.
Good. Hey, this guy's a moron. But anyway, what's going on with this thing is completely bogus. Bitches will sue over anything. I can't believe it, man. If you're going to say some stuff about it, you need to watch what you say. Like you said, just do it, without them knowing. Make sure that, things don't happen or they find out about anything like that, I guess. It's wrong.
Yeah. Again, especially, like I say, the East Coast is particularly egregious.
Oh, man, New York is crazy. The girls there are hardcore.
Yeah, New York is full of broads who've been hit with the ugly stick, and they're very upset about the hotter chicks out there, and they decide to file lawsuits about it because they're a bunch of smartasses. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I went out there one time. I used to drive a truck a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, man, the girls are just, they have no personality, anti-personalities completely. They are hard, just unpleasant people.
Yeah.
The girls out there. But yeah, I mean, I heard this comments on here about the Fox. What state? They work for the Fox station. Have you ever watched some of the TV shows that Fox puts out? Well,
let's face it, the Fox News Channel is full of news bimbos. I mean, it's got plenty of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I just want to make my comments on that, Tom. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Curtis. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Josh on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Josh.
What's up, Tom?
Well, first of all, the sound of your radio is up, and it's got to be down, or off, actually.
No, sorry about that. All right, is this good now?
If it's off...
All right, Tom, you are my hero. I listen to you every day, and you're my hero, man.
Why, thank you.
So how are you, Tom?
Do you care, Josh?
I care a lot, Josh.
I've got
How are the bitches treating you?
Well, I'm not anywhere near any bitches right now because I've got the cold or flu or something going. Some crud.
Well, I have some crazy story for you, man.
Go ahead.
Well, you see, I'm working at this firm, and all these women are on maternity leave, you see, and now since they're on maternity leave, we have to cover their work, and it's just a bunch of bull.
Well, it's ridiculous if you're not being paid extra for that.
We're not getting paid extra. It's just because these dumb bitches get to leave because of maternity because they get to have children, and we have to pay.
Well, if I were you, I'd find another job, Josh. I would just leave.
You know what? That's what I'm thinking about doing.
You know, let them cover for each other.
I mean, this is just a bunch of bull. You know?
Well, Pat, we can't use that word on the air. I love you to death, but we can't use that word on the radio.
Sorry about that. Well, Tom, could you blow me up Kobe style?
Kobe style. Here you go, Josh.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Mia on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Mia.
I have a question. I totally agree with you about your philosophy about women, at a young age getting pregnant and, all of that. But my question is, do you feel the same way about, dykes? The dykes I tend to know are, really career-oriented, and you can pretty much tell, a dyke, do you feel that same way about, dykes?
No, my feeling is if someone's a bitch, I'm more concerned about them being a bitch, whether they're straight or gay, than whether they're dykes. I certainly think that lesbians are less likely to get pregnant, though they're more likely than they ever have been to get pregnant, but still much less likely than the straight chicks.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I have worked with lesbians. I've found the ones I have worked with to be goal-oriented and career-oriented like guys. Mm-hmm. And so, therefore, I can relate to them on that level.
That's why I was asking you. All right, Tom, I got to get to work, but thank you, and can you take me out with the bong hit and a thank you, Jesus?
Here you go, Mia.
Thank you.
Sound.
Thank you, Jesus.
1-800-5800-TOM. It's Todd on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, Todd.
Yes, Todd.
Hey, my sister filed a sexual harassment suit against her boss. She worked at a church. And what she stated, or her problem was, is that he called her lady. If he asked her to do something, he'd say, "Excuse me, lady." Well, lady is implied behavior, not a person. And she won $5,000 and got her job back.
Oh, my God.
Outrageous. Unfathomable. That's how bad this is getting.
Yeah, it's outrageous. And it's why I don't want to work with women. I have no interest.
Unbelievable.
And
she's no reflection of my beliefs or my family, that's for sure.
Boy, I completely understand.
That's it.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Lousy.
Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, I had a lady, and she was out at my job site, and the type of work I do, there's a lot of geologists, engineers, and such, and she touchy-feely all the time, and she came up to me and finally grabbed me down below and wanted me to do all this stuff to her out at these sites and work with her frequently, and finally I had enough of it. I finally told her, I said, hey, you know what, just knock it off, be cool, man, I'm flattered. Thanks, man, I can't give up my good job for this. And so she started turning on me and started, over a course of a year, started really turning into a you-know-what. And finally I filed with my HR. They called their HR and said, hey, we got this complaint here. She replied saying that I did this and that I tried to rape her out in the field. And since I called her on it first. She backed up so fast and did not know what to say, and our company attorney just basically said, "Hey, man, you beat her to the punch. She's gonna lay down and go away on this one." And
I'm so glad you told that story, Mike, because that's exactly why guys should file reports immediately.
Absolutely.
If you're called pool boy or if somebody gropes you, you should go right down to the HR department and don't feel like you're being a wuss for doing it.
No, and you know what was neat is my company backed me up, and this was clientele that we had to keep, and we ended up keeping them. But they just said, "Hey, listen, you guys are going to have to stay apart." And I'm like, "Well, that's fine." I go, "But don't make this turn into something where I'm going to lose this work on these big contracts." And finally, she backed off, and I told her I told them I don't ever want to be around her again. And she also tried it with 2 of my other workers and lied about that as well. And now she's a running puppy dog, and she knows that I won. And I wish those guys would go out there and just hammer down on this crap, shut those you-know-whats down, and get them to back off in their little corner because they think they run the damn world.
I agree with you.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866.
I just wanted to call and tell you how much of a schmuck I think you are. You're the king of the schmuck. But I think it's great. I'm a schmuck, too.
I'm the most entertaining schmuck in radio.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. And many of you boys from Dallas and the surrounding area have written to us. We started doing Boys Night Out back in June when we sold out the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. We did it again in Seattle. Drew over 2,000 guys. Did it again in Riverside, California. Drew well over 1,000 there. And of all the places where our show is on, you boys in Dallas have written to us the most and said, when will it come to Dallas? And I'm here to announce that we are bringing Boys Night Out to Dallas on Friday, December 2nd at the world-famous, legendary Majestic Theater at 8:30 p.m. on that Friday. I'm the MC of the event. Bobby Slayton is our headliner. We're there also with John DeResta and Steve Brewer. And it is one outrageous show where we say things on that stage we would never, ever even think of trying to say here because we'd never get to come back to work the next day. That'll be it. That's simple. It's a show of guys only. Guys on stage, guys in the audience. No chicks. You don't bring your girlfriend. You don't bring your wife. This is not date night, boys. This is for the boys. Made to go out and have a steak beforehand. Go out to a strip club afterward. Bring the boys from the office, bring the guys you play golf with, bring the guys you watch football with, bring the guys you booze with. Bring the guys you go to the strip club with. Bring the bachelor party. You can also bring your son or your nephew because there's no age limit on it, baby. This is outrageous comedy. I know my boys in Texas can handle it, believe me, probably better than anywhere else. Tickets are available right now if you call Ticketmaster at this number, 214-373-8000. It's 214-373-8000. You can order online from Ticketmaster.com. All the information is on BlowMeUpTom.com. It's one night only. And we may very well be shooting our DVD of Boys Night Out that night. So you'll be making history with us because this is the first time I've produced a theatrical event. And so far, yeah, we've gotten rave reviews. There's no doubt about it. So Boys Night Out, Friday, December 2nd at the Majestic Theater in Dallas. 8:30 is the time. 214-373-8000. You can go to Ticketmaster.com. You can go to BlowMeUpTom.com for details. It's all right there. We'll see you on Friday, December 2nd for Boys Night Out in Dallas. 214-373-8000.
1-800-5800-TOM. Like an echo there. Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, you got to give this guy from Fox a little bit of credit because at least he had the gonads to say what a lot of us are thinking. And
look, I'm thrilled to see those words in print, but here's the problem. If he wants to get away with running the office that way, which I think he should be able to do. Saying it in the office is not going to get it done. He'll become, if it's proven that he did that, he'll be an ex-employee.
True, but, I mean, had my father...
What will that accomplish?
Had other people down the road been doing that 20, 30 years ago, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
The genie has left the bottle. There's other ways to fight this, including men filing complaints with the Human Resources Department anytime women talk about their period in the office, talk about their sex lives in the office, tell dirty jokes in the office, wear sexy items in the office. In other words, we should start doing what they do.
I agree with you, but
that is a much more effective way of fighting this. This man opened the vault of Fox News Channel and the News Corporation parent company by making these comments where people could hear them.
Still, he's got more gonads than I do.
That's great, but you know what? He's going to have gonads on the unemployment line.
Yeah, true. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. And then Fox is going to have to hire even more chunky, ugly, bitter broads as part of any settlement. You can best believe that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Rebecca on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
I think you guys are crazy.
How so?
Well, I get sexually harassed almost on a daily basis. I've always...
How do you define sexual harassment?
Well, how about this? I was on an expedition, and a toothless sailor followed me down to the bottom of the ship, kissed me right on the mouth, and I was like, where did that come from? So I went and told his superiors, and that put an end to it, but it was uncomfortable for a long time to have to work with him. My boss hugs and kissed me on the neck right in front of my boyfriend when I got an award at school. He hugs me every day at the office. The guys even say, hey, do we get a hug too? Teachers hug me and stuff.
But you see, what you're talking about is the original reason these laws were made. And they made sense when they were originally made. But if you work in the promotion department and your boss calls you and the other chicks in the department promo girls, that is not the same as being kissed by some guy at the office or groped by some guy at the office.
Well, my boss.
Whether it's your boss or not. The point is, at one time, sexual harassment meant just that. Sexual harassment. Being called promo girl is not sexual harassment.
No, I don't think so.
But now you have a lawsuit over that.
Work with women.
What's that?
I think your comment about you don't want to work with women is
I don't.
crazy.
Why?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of women out there like me who just suck it up and you know,
but it's too difficult to figure out which ones you are.
That's true.
I will tell you that those of you with boyfriends, eventually the boyfriends become husbands, and then eventually the husbands become sperm donors, and eventually you're taking time off from work, and I have to find ways to fill in for you.
Those things are all true.
Yeah, well, that's what the guy at Fox said. He was just stupid to say it.
No, but it's like, it's such a subtle line, you know. It's like, even when I was kissed right on the mouth, I didn't quite know, you know, is that wrong or right?
Of course it's wrong.
You know?
Of course it's wrong, and you had a witness.
No, I didn't. It was just the two of us down in the basement.
No, but you said he kissed you in front of your boyfriend.
Oh, no, that was my boss at another event.
Whatever. The point is that you had a witness to one of these events. Correct?
Yes.
So you had a good case.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't have a problem with women. By the way, dear, I don't have a problem with women filing complaints about that kind of behavior. I'm in your corner regarding that. What I have a problem with is women who hear a guy telling a dirty joke to his buddy 5 cubicles down and filing a complaint that it's a hostile work environment.
Yeah, but those are just greedy. I mean, there's something wrong with those people.
Well, that's my point, that we've allowed this law to get expanded and expanded and expanded to the point where you can't even talk to women in the office anymore. And I tell the boys not to even talk to or around women in the office.
And women at my office, we often talk about those things that you said you guys should file complaints against.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing, though. It can swing both ways. I think the law should be a little bit more robust than, say, somebody called me a lady, you know, and you get money.
Right, exactly.
So, okay, mute point then.
Thank you, Rebecca.
No worries. Have a good day.
All right, you too. 1-800-5800-TOM, Rebecca on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Tom, you are disgusting.
Really?
Yes.
Why, thank you.
What you do to women is disgusting.
What do I do to women, dear?
You do to women, you don't respect them at all, and you call them bitches on the radio all the time.
Only the ones who are bitches.
Well, not all are. All you do
No
is
one said all women are bitches.
call in and say, how are your bitches? And it's not right. You probably, what kind of women do you get? You probably don't get any women because you're short and ugly.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, you are. You know what? This show is for pigs and...
I know what you look like, though, because, believe me, hot chicks don't mind this show at all.
Hot chicks don't mind the show at all?
No, they don't.
How would you know?
Because I hear from them and see them all the time.
You see them?
Yes. Yes, I do. What do you look like?
What do I look like?
Yeah, dear.
Well, Tom, I am 5'11", blonde hair, blue eyes, and double Ds.
So what? What are you, 200 pounds?
That's not nice.
Yeah, but you are, right?
210.
210.
No, I'm kidding.
Now, dear, if you're 5'10" and double Ds, you probably are over 200 pounds.
Well, that's not true.
How much do you weigh, dear?
130.
130 and double Ds.
No, I lied about that part.
You lied about that, too.
Small Ds.
What are you, like a 5?
What? Hell no.
Oh, hey, you had to think about that, dear.
You're an
Ooh, now you have to curse on the air.
Yes, I do.
Really? Well, you certainly are showing a lot of class. And again, another woman hit by the ugly stick who has to call in very bitter manner, calling in and using obscenity on the air because she doesn't have any logic, doesn't have anything, any facts to back her up.
What about bitches? That's not bad?
Well, you're clearly a bitch, and that's why you're so upset about me using the word.
Well, that isn't right.
Well, let me tell you, what are you going to do about it?
Well, I can't do anything about it. But
Damn straight you can't do anything about it.
Take me out Tom's style.
Again, cursing again on the air. Before I do, dear, before I do, let me get Mark on the air. Mark, what did you want to say to Rebecca?
Oh, my God. She's the reason why we guys listen to the show. She's lying about her stats. She's lying about what she looks like. You know, if she looked that good, like you said, she wouldn't be calling in crying.
That's right.
She's listening to the show, though, isn't she?
That's exactly right.
No, actually, my brother does.
An hour into it, she's still listening to the show, yet she hates it so much. That's why
right.
I listen, to hear these stupid broads talk like this.
Well, at least you call us broads and not bitches.
Actually, he was referring to all the women as broads, but you particularly, I'm sure, Mark. Bitch or not a bitch?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Tom.
Mark, Rebecca, thank you so much.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I respect you as a god. I'm going to live the rest of my adulthood under your rules.
Thank you. I am firm but fair.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. Joseph, hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Joseph.
Welcome to San Diego, man.
Thank you.
Missed you a lot, man, from L.A. originally, long-time listener.
Thank you.
Hey, I got a wild story for you, man.
Yeah.
I was working, right, with my buddy, and this girl we used to work with, man, she just, like, walked by all the time, whatever. This girl looked like a horse, right? But I wasn't, interested. So I say, hey, this is Rod, my buddy. I said his name, and he was just like, hi or whatever. And I go, by the way, he likes carrots. Well, I don't know where this girl did her research or whatever, but she took it to the division manager and said that we were expecting oral out of her. And I was like, huh?
Uh-huh.
And they took it up to us, and, they gave us a verbal warning, but I was just like, man, what the hell? I even asked my boss, I was just like, when have you heard that kind of term for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I never heard anything like that. I go, well, it's like, I just gotta, I gotta act on it,
Well, I gotta tell you something. That is the time you go to your attorney and pay for 15 minutes of time, maybe half an hour,
right?
And you have him write a letter. You don't let something like that go into your employee file unchallenged.
It was never documented. He just gave us a verbal warning.
But you don't know what he wrote down. You don't know what he put in his own file for you. Your employer frequently puts things in your file about verbal warnings, about stuff you did that was not documented. They document everything at some companies.
Yeah, you know what? Fortunately, I found a different position at a different division within the same company, so I was out of there within 2 months after that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, it's just glad to hear your voice out here, man.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Can you blow me up?
Of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Paula on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Hi, Paula.
I just wanted to call in and say that it's the women like those people that you just had on the phone right now that make us look so horrible.
Right.
You know, it's to the point where they can take one little twist of what any man does and make it into a big, huge story. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I just want to say that, you know what, maybe you should have a girls' night out, because there's a lot more women out there that really do love you than what you think.
Yeah, cool chicks are in short supply. We love them when we find them. By the way, Boys Night Out coming to the Majestic Theater in Dallas Friday, December 2nd. For tickets, call right now, 214-373-8000.
The Tom Leykis Show.